I need bourbon for my blues, a special love to set the mood, hearts and hearts that we must choose. So I'm killing bourbon for my blues. Times are tough and love is rare, with a broken heart, with an empty stare. Inspiration, what it takes, liquid love to break the hate. I need a home where I get in. From a saint I turn to sin. My sorrows drown, I drink it down. How many days I'm giving praise. I need bourbon for my blues. The only way to win is lose. A poison hearts that we must choose. So I'm killing bourbon for my blues. Wreck my dreams, wreck my life. Wreck my body, lose my wife. Price I pay to sing the saddest song. Bleeding hearts bleeding out until it's all long gone. There's a demon, she is tempting me, gives me a thirst so desperately, and now I just can't seem to stop this train. I crash myself into a river of pain. I need bourbon for my blues, a special love to set the mood, poison hearts that we must choose. So I'm killing bourbon for my blues. I need bourbon for my blues. If I drink enough, I'll make the news. For this guitar I will abuse. I think it's time to turn me loose.
Welcome off the cuff on the bluff with your host Dean Franklin. That's me. stumbling over my words already. Hope everybody's doing all right this evening. Tonight we have Marco Yzaguirre. I hope I said that right, Marco. You can tell me whether I did or not. I remember how you said to remember it like it's a Gary, but say Yzaguirre. So Marco Yzaguirre, and he is on the Republican ticket, one of our two sheriffs on the Republican ticket running for sheriff of Shelby County. Uh, Let me get over here to this. Doing this by myself. I don't have the luxury of having a Daniel to help me with this stuff. Uh, Marco was born and raised in Lima, Peru. His journey took him to the United States shortly after high school in pursuit of the American dream. Once he was here, he joined the United States Army Infantry Division, where he proudly served one tour of duty, being stationed in Kuwait and Haiti. So I'm going to let him finish the introductions and bring him on. Let me get you to the right screen there. Let's see. What did I do here? Here we go. There you are.
All right.
Small technical difficulties. How you doing this evening, Marco?
Well, good evening, Dean, and thank you for the invitation today.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to get as many as I can between now and
Yeah.
I know early voting is April 15th, but the primaries are May 5th. So I'm trying to get as many on here as I can between now and May 5th. The last one will be, I guess, well, May the 4th be with you. The Monday before Tuesday. Yeah, May 4th is a Monday this year. So Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
So how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Dean, and thank you for the introduction. As you mentioned, I I did. I'm the kid who grew up watching American shows in Lima, Peru.
Yes,
As
sir.
you know, third world country, and through the struggles and poverty in Peru, and in the late '60s.
Yes, sir.
Around then, there was the Shining Path communist Marxist group that it was rising. Trying to promote communism into the country. They were coming from the inner part of the country into Lima. Their goal was to take over government. They believed that the government should be ruled by the people. Uh, it was a lot of stuff going on. So at the age of 20, right after high school, I came to America, and I got my paperwork ready. Became legal, joined the United States Army, and like you mentioned, I deployed overseas twice. That was one of the proudest moments of my life, wearing the uniform and defending this country. So
Yes,
when
sir.
I
Well, thank you.
termination of my service, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you for your service.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And so when I got out, I decided I continued to serve. So
Yes,
I
sir.
moved to Memphis. I joined the Memphis Police Department. I moved to different areas, work in different bureaus in the Memphis Police Department, including the drug interstate, doing drug and addiction. I left Memphis Police in 2005, Dean, and I joined the the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And after a few years in Shelby County Sheriff's Office, I got transferred to the FBI task force here in Memphis, having top secret security clearance because the job consisted of doing a lot of wiretaps, undercover work, surveillance, wiretaps, following people, trash pools, and so on. And those investigations were solid and very thoroughly investigated by my team and at the FBI with a group of different people. And so that was the my expertise investigating drug cartels in Memphis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was a sophisticated assignment. That's what I call it because it's just so neat. It's an underworld, Dean, that it'll blow your mind as to what's going on from that world. All these drugs coming into Memphis.
So it's a lot more than what the news tells us there is, or even a lot more than what maybe MPD or some of the other law enforcement agencies tell us there is. I mean, I know it's a seedy underworld, and I know from several things that have happened across Memphis. I mean, I even know that there's MS-13 in Memphis.
Yeah. It's more than that. The MS-13 now that we have in Memphis is the younger generation of Latin people
Yes, sir.
that they want to get together and they rise up. Again, they take this gang from the MS-13 people, this young generation, they're far left pushing liberal ideologies. They're grabbing that
Right.
and they're just committing crimes. And they're saying just because we're poor, we're committing these crimes. So that's just on the gang part.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right. Now, how long did you say you've been with the sheriff's department?
20 years working on my 21st year, and that
Okay.
was Memphis 8, Memphis
Okay.
Police. And at the United States Army, I served on in the Infantry Division 315, Fort Stewart, Georgia.
Okay.
I spent 3 years in the Army.
Okay. Cool. All right. One of the things people ask about, a lot is how law enforcement resources are being used. And when Brad was on the show, I asked him some of these similar questions and everything else like that. How many? I think someone misspoke, or maybe I read something wrong or whatever. But
Yeah.
the deputies, how many deputies are we down for Shelby County? I got a little freeze up. That's what happens with Restream sometimes. Let's see. Maybe I got too much stuff running. Oh, that's not it. All right, Marco, if you can hear me, there he is. Here he comes.
Waiting for the host to join.
There you go.
Okay.
There you are. You're back.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's. I
So
think it's something to do with Restream. I think that we're gonna blame it on Restream. It's a cool deal, but I have
really,
issues with it sometimes. Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's all good. It's all good.
But
It's part of it.
but the question I was asking is how many? We know MPD's down about 600 officers. What is Shelby County down? How many deputies are we down?
Yeah, the deputies that were down is roughly about 120 deputies.
Okay.
The patrol officer about 120 deputies that we
Okay.
need more those boots on the ground.
Right.
And
Right.
and then the deputy jailers, there's still about 300, almost 300, and they
Three.
have a class 300. But we have a class right now of 41 Shelby County correction deputies, deputy jailers at the academy right now.
Okay. And you said that's how many we're down 300 deputy jailers.
Right, 300
Oh.
plus 120 deputies.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I've got friends that are on the reserves, and that was my phone. I need that thing out of here. Friends as reserve, and then friends that have retired, and this, that, and the other. But the issue comes up. One of the issues is the jail, and how do you? I mean, there's a lot of women jailers. Seems like more so women jailers than there are men jailers. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, you are correct, Dean. And I'm always asking, where are all these men? Where are all these men? So you're right. There's usually more women than men in that area
Right.
and the deputy jailers. In fact, all this class, the majority are just women. They only got one male, I believe.
I don't have an issue
Yep.
with women being jailers at all. I mean, and I'm glad that people are signing up for that work. But I mean, how is a 5'6" 147-pound woman going to go up against some 6'3" guy that weighs 285 if he decides to go berserk out on the floor?
I agree 100%. There's certain jobs, and I'm like you. So nothing against women. I love, men, women. We all, can do the jobs. I get it.
Right,
But there's certain jobs then that it's just no, it's just like you mentioned, somebody who just not physically fit to deal with guys in jail.
right.
The other part then that you have to consider is these people that they are in jail, they're not your.
Oh man. Uh, issues. I'm gonna see if I can back him out and bring him back in. See if that helps. We'll get him back on. He'll come back on here in a second. Try it again, Marco, if you can hear me. Back out of it and come on back in. A lot of the times, there we go. You back? There you go.
I'm here. Yeah.
It's
There
okay.
you go. It's okay. We'll navigate through it. So.
I'm not going to touch any more buttons over here for a while. So my hands are hands up. Don't shoot.
Let's have a good. I like it when you did. I'm not gonna touch anything. I love it. That's pretty cool.
So anyway, you were talking about having to deal with somebody, and not only just the size of somebody, but if they're tripping on something, I mean that makes it even double worse.
Yeah, because now you have to have a bunch of deputy jailers to come and help, and they just turn into chaos.
Right.
Again, nothing against women, I promise you. And that's just not how I am. Nothing against women, but some jobs are just no, just feasible. It's just you have to consider yourself. That's what I go and tell people when I was at the training academy, and you have to realize, when you go home, just think about very hard if this job is for you.
Right.
That's what we tell them.
Well, I've got a question from Brenda Harvey. She says, "Do they vet jailers?" She said, "It seems like jailers like to sneak things into the jails for the inmates." And I mean, we know that happens. Everybody knows that happens. Not all of them, but it does happen. I mean, cell phones, weapons, drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you stop that? How do you stop? I mean, how does the vetting process go in order to get someone that's not going to help these inmates?
Yeah, yes, that's a good point. That's an excellent question, Dean. So I believe that everything starts in training at
Right.
the academy. Number two, as we need to put the supervisors of these teams that we have, we're humans. We need reminders all the time. So
Right.
that needs to be addressed more often when these deputy jailers go to their assignments. Um, there's some that they have done that. A lot of times, their family members of the person who's in jail apply, and that's how you see, they bring in stuff into the jail. So,
Oh,
a lot of times it happened because it's the somebody's girlfriend's friend who knows who's in jail, and so we have this system in the jail that we can listen to jail calls to.
right.
So we can just get in there and monitor to these jail calls. We have a group of people or detectives that they listen to the jail calls, but we won't know unless somebody is calling this person to do this. So, but I think the way to tackle this, then we have to like I said, we have to remind people that the employees, if you do this, you're gonna held accountable. You
Right.
know, you're gonna held accountable. Number two, I think the the supervisors need to do some more check-ins, into the locker rooms. You can go with everything. There need to be some kind of screening in there. What I want to do when I become the sheriff, I want to bring the K9 unit into the jail. We can start with the employees searching the lockers. We can start with the jails in the pods, putting the dog in there. I want to do random raids into the jail at a different times.
Right.
Because sometimes when the fentanyl, for example, which is a very, very dangerous drug, they get that drug and they hide it. It's so minimum in that it takes just a little granule like salt to compare the size.
Right.
That will knock your socks off. I mean, it could kill you. But anyway, so that's the way I believe I can approach that smuggling drugs into the jail.
Right. I mean, it would have to be limited to
Yeah.
just a couple of people knowing what's going on with the
Yeah.
surprise visit.
Yeah, that's right. But I think if we start doing that, people with the word will spread out. Accountability, responsibility. You gotta put the supervisors make sure give this the employees reminders.
Right. Right. The other issue that I talked with Brad about was the school resource officers for MSCS.
Yeah.
Now they've got their own post security people, but do you know how many Shelby County deputies are assigned to MSCS right now?
Yes, we have probably around 40. We have 40, almost 40 deputies.
Okay.
Almost 40 deputies, and we cover about 40 schools.
Right.
But anyway, we deploy. We have some supervisors. We got a lieutenant, a couple of sergeants, and every deputy is assigned to a school. The school is it is a place where I really want to put a lot of emphasis in it, because this is where everything starts. Then, I want to start some mentorship in the schools.
Right.
As a sheriff, I wanna start a crime prevention program. We have a crime prevention program, but I wanna expand that program. Meaning, as a sheriff, I want to go myself and talk to these kids. All the way
Right.
from elementary, middle, and high school. In high school, including high school, about the people you date.
Right.
Don't get into these people when you go to the mall. Be careful who you're going with and stuff. But I want to start early. In we have to promote, and what is intervention, what is suppressions. But I believe if we can start early. So there is one deputy right now that this guy, I didn't know this, Dean. I saw him at the sheriff's office one day. This guy is about to go transfer to investigations. And then he said, Marco, he just told me this. He said, Marco, you don't remember this, but you went to my school when I was in 4th grade.
Wow.
You taught me about crime prevention and the consequences of touching a gun. Because I remember then I pulled one bullet and I shot that bullet. I passed that bullet around to these kids and I told them, do you see this? And everybody was just like scared. You can touch it, pass it around.
Right.
So this will kill you. So so it was so impressive, those kids, I created an impact. I didn't know.
Right.
But he told me the story. He said, sir, because of you, I became an officer. So I didn't know he was the guy. He's a detective now.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You don't know if what you're going to say is going to touch somebody or not. And if it touches and in a positive way, one person, then you've done what you need to do. I mean,
100%.
and you just don't know. I mean,
right.
Who's listening and who's not listening. So
right.
Sometimes it's the ones that you kind of look around the room at and going like, oh yeah, this is not going to be, these people are not going to listen to what I say. And then you got that one that comes back to you years later, like what you're talking about, and appreciate you for what you showed them and taught them. That's awesome, Marco. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was very rewarding. And they're when I go and talk to these kids, I want to do more, Dean, and this is why I'm running, because I see these problems.
Right.
Uh, when you look from a different perspective, when you have this much experience and time doing what we do, and you start seeing, like, it's like the dots starting to connect.
Right.
You put your experience where we're not doing this, we're not doing that. But the schools, I'm a firm believer that we have to start in the schools. So I want to be able to put the training on every single deputy who's assigned to the schools. I want to make sure that they're active shooter trained. That is one of my biggest fears, Dean, having an active shooter situation in one of the schools. But that's why I want to make sure that all our deputies in working in the schools are trained like they're supposed to.
Right.
And also the security officers that work for Memphis City schools. That is one of my visions that I have. Let's train these people who they're watching the safety of our kids,
Right.
train them in active shooter, because it will take us 3 minutes to get to the scene.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. For people that don't know what POST stands for, it's the acronym for Peace Officer Standards and Training. Now, do the ones that MSCS has, and I don't know how I don't know. I didn't look it up to see how many actual security they have through the schools. You said there's about 40 deputies throughout
Yeah,
the school throughout the
those are
schools.
the Shelby County deputies, but there's about 100 Shelby County security officers
For MSCS.
Yeah, right, MSCS.
Are
So
they trying with this post? I mean, I've seen it before with police officers and deputies and this, that, and the other. Is this the same? I mean, do they have the same level of training that a sheriff's deputy or a Memphis police officer has?
not all the way,
Okay.
but I like to make, working with the Memphis Shelby County schools, Memphis City schools, maybe make these officers certified, give them the
Right.
training and make them certified. But if we can certify all of them, post certified, so they can be just like a police officer or a deputy,
Right.
to receive that training. That's so important.
Right. I mean, and then if they get tired of all the screaming kids or whatever, maybe they can take their
Right.
time of service and transfer to either MPD or Shelby
Exactly.
County.
Exactly. And we can use the manpower, which
Oh
we need.
yeah.
But the schools is so, so important. Then I really want to put more emphasis into the schools from my perspective. And I want to be the sheriff who personally, I want to go myself, and I will go myself into the schools.
Right. Well, yeah. Lead by example, correct?
That's right. That's right. You have to. And middle school, then there's certain things that I want to talk about too. Middle school, it's so delicate, Dean, because middle school, that's the age where you're becoming an adult. You start trying to see, okay, where am I going to fit in, and clothing and dating and so on. That that I want to focus on that group myself too, just a little bit more. And I'll tell you a story that I remember just last year, that this lady called the police. So we show up, and she said uh, that her 13-year-old has committed suicide. We responded to the call, and then this is the story. So she said she called her daughter and
Mhm.
asked her if she wants some food. The daughter says, "No, mom, I'm okay." Within 2-3 minutes, the mama showed up on the scene. When she showed up, she saw her daughter hanging. She was committing suicide. Through the was able to take this off her neck. When we showed up, I saw the paramedics. Bless their hearts, man. These guys are heroes, Dean. I saw this paramedic working so hard on the 13-year-old girl, and then, you know, doing CPR. So I made the scene with the deputies, and I started talking to the mom. It was so horrible to look at the scene. When
Wow.
I did the preliminary investigation, Dean, I found out that her boyfriend had broke up with her, and that's why she wanted to kill herself. She went to the hospital. She ended up dying.
Mm.
She ended up dying, and
13, 13, did you say 13 years
13,
old?
13 years old. Social media, boyfriend. So that age is just a really that's so delicate. I really worry about that, that age group. But I want to go myself and just tell them, hey, look, this is the age. It's just, you have to be careful who you talk to and who you date, and so on.
Right. Let me ask you. Everybody in Shelby County is looking at money for money,
Yeah, yeah.
budgets and things like that. Uh, the the information that I found was that Shelby County MSCS schools pay the sheriff's office about $50,000 a year, I guess, for those 40 deputies.
Wow.
Does that sound
I would have to look it up. I don't want to give you a number that I'm
right?
correcting, but I don't know
Right.
exactly. But I can tell you,
Well, what
so
does it what does a deputy make a year? Is it about $70,000 a year?
they max out in 3 years, 78,000.
78,000?
78 in 3 years.
Okay. All right. Let me. I got my calculator up here on the thing
78.
right here. 78,000, and you said 40 officers in MSCS. That's $3,120,000 a year.
Yeah.
And uh, and if MSCS is only paying $50,000 to $100,000, $50,000 to $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
I guess we all know where the rest of that money's coming from.
Yeah.
Me and you,
Yeah.
taxpayers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know exactly the number, but I'm happy to get back with you and,
Sure.
so we can put it back up on the air. But I can tell you, the deputies get paid some of the money being reimbursed, how much money they're getting. I just don't know. But I can tell you, you could put two deputies in every school, but we have one.
Yeah.
Everybody's assigned to a school.
Okay. Well, as sheriff, would you be comfortable continuing that arrangement, or would you want to renegotiate that?
I want to renegotiate, and I want to see it, but I want to see exactly how much money and where is the money going to go. I want to put more deputies. Trust me, I'm all about accountability.
Right.
So that you as a taxpayer, I should be able to tell you, you give me this much money, this is how much is going to the schools, and I have to where your money is going.
Right. Somebody else makes an important thing. The sheriff's office is responsible for their own budget, correct? I think I read that right. The sheriff's office, they don't go through the Shelby County Commission for their budget. Now, I guess y'all present it to the Shelby County Commission.
Present it to the mayor, the mayor, and then it gets presented to the county commission where the money is going to go and how much money we need.
Right. And so I guess it's up to the mayor, because it's not the commission, it's the mayor. It's up to the mayor to release that money or not.
Right. The mayor who approves it, release the money. This is how much money is going to go. And then, that's all that money that we're going to see for the sheriff's office for the year, starting
Right.
July 1st, all the way until June the 30th of the following year.
Right.
And,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
I was just going to say, if those you actually want to put, you said 2 deputies in each school.
I want to. Yeah.
Now just the ones in the Memphis proper, or all over Shelby County?
All over Shelby County.
Okay.
All over Shelby County. I want to protect the schools, then. And this is one of my biggest fears that some, God, it just.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It worries me. It just works. It's all over the country. Copycats, and it's just. I hope nothing happened in the Mid-South, but I worry much about these kids.
Yeah, it's something's got to be done. And the other thing is, after school, projects, things that they can do after school. Some of the kids that are old, if they would put home economics and wood shop and metal shop and auto mechanics back in these schools, a lot of these kids would have something to look forward to once they got out of school. College isn't for everybody. It wasn't for me. I tried it. I couldn't do it. So I ended up going into the Air Force in '86 and was in stationed at RAF Millen Hall, England for 3 years. So
Man, see,
uh,
thank you for your service. Then you know, I know.
thank,
So thank
oh,
you for your service.
I appreciate it. I thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been doing metal work now for 36 years, and so
Wow.
I'm not killing it. People think that if you own your own business, you're just
Yeah.
rolling in the dough.
No.
No, I hemorrhage sometimes. My bills make me hemorrhage sometimes,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
especially now that we're paying $4 a gallon for gas.
Yeah. It's high right now. It's high. It's high. But
Right,
when you mention the budget, then I think that I want to be able to see where is that money going. I want to be able to use, every penny of it, put into this fund and use it wisely to get more boots on the ground. More
right.
officers in schools, more officers on the streets. And if we can control, if we don't put more officers, then we're gonna lose. We're gonna
Oh,
lose.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I had an incident. I think I told you about it. I had an incident back in September. I was coming back from a conference in Lebanon, and coming back through, I just crossed over Sycamore View. I saw in my rearview mirror this guy weaving in and out of traffic at a high rate of speed. He came across the front of my truck. I thought I was going to hit him,
Wow.
and so I dumped the brakes, and he took off. Well, I kind of let cooler heads prevail. I
Yeah.
jumped over in the far left-hand lane and took off, but
Yeah.
I kept my distance from him. He slowed down. I slowed down. He got over in the middle lane just before you got to the Summer Avenue exit. I
Yeah.
slowed down, and then he darted over, and I stopped because there was nothing coming or whatever. And I was looking at him, looking at the car and everything else, and I see that he's waving a gun. I
Oh,
turn around. I turn around and continue my journey forward or whatever, and heard the shot. Well, I didn't know if he was shooting at me or shooting up in the air or whatever. And that was on a Saturday. It wasn't until Tuesday that I noticed that it hit my truck. So it hit the
I'm sorry.
side, hit the bed
I'm
of the
sorry,
truck.
dude. It's scary,
But
man.
that
Wow.
but that was about the time that they kicked off Operation Viper,
Mhm.
and the Memphis Safe Task Force was coming in, and I know, I mean, I gave the report to the city of Memphis, MPD or whatever, and they wanted to write it off as uh, not what's it called when somebody
Vandalism.
vandalism. They wanted to write it off as vandalism. I just looked at them and went,
No.
y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good day." So
Yeah. No.
maybe that guy got caught up in some nets around town with the Safe Task Force here in town. Have you been a part of the Memphis Safe Task Force at all?
No, the task force, the one since this task force that is here, no,
Okay.
no, I haven't because I'm back in 3 years ago. I got transferred back in uniform patrol as a supervisor.
Okay.
Prior to that, yeah, I was in the task force for 12 years, investigating all this other stuff, plus investigating
Right.
bank robbers, all the interstate commerce, people jumping into the Nike trailers, stealing Nikes and robbing the armor cars being robbed. So
Right.
we investigated all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, one of the jail, let's go back to the jail and the actual jail itself, and not the a buddy of mine. Well, he's one of the uh, on the reserves,
Yeah.
and he's told me that there have been times when they've had to pick somebody up in northern Shelby County, the furthest point of Shelby County,
Yeah.
and take them to intake, and by the time they get
Yeah.
to intake, they get the person goes in and does everything that they got to do. They get back in the car. Either their shift is over, they're in overtime, or their shift is almost over. I mean, how can we expedite that intake? I mean, what's the issue there? And there's a follow up question to that
Hmm.
about. I'll let you go ahead and answer that.
Yeah, it's manpower. It's manpower. It's just, the intake, the whole jail, they're separated, people on the floors and the intake. Intake, we need to put more people. It goes down to the manpower people. Sometimes you get supervisors working in there. And that is a big problem. Then you can't have that many hours waiting on them. And just imagine somebody having an episode because he's suffering from mental illness.
Right.
It's just you have to address those issues. So manpower, it's just I don't understand how this happened. For if I have a company, if I have one or two or five, 10 people, I must address that issue now. Why did you let it go to 300? 50 is too many, 100 is too many, but
Right.
99. So why did this happen? So we get the same excuse. Well, COVID happened, we can catch up. Well, catch up. Well, we can't. Don't give me any excuses. Go and give me some people.
Right.
I don't want to hear about it. Mission first, just like the military. Mission first. You go ahead. That's just there's no reason. There's no explanation for that. It only goes down to responsibility of the supervisor, and we must hold these supervisors accountable. But I get it, the manpower, but you have to get the manpower up like quickly. Yesterday, we must do.
Right. Somebody had posted, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody had posted something about bounty hunters bringing in people to intake, and and what they had found out was that somebody that they know that's a bounty hunter, maybe maybe out of Mississippi,
Mhm.
was not allowed to bring someone that they caught in Tennessee to the jail. That the whoever's running the intake uh, has a list of bounty hunters from Tennessee that they'll let bring in, and not anybody else, not anybody from Arkansas, not anybody from Mississippi. They have their and some not even from Tennessee. Certain parts of Tennessee they won't let the bounty hunters bring them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What's up?
That's just strange. I've heard somebody saying that, but I haven't heard anything else. Must have heard that exactly what you're saying once or twice, but
Right.
I really don't know what the reason would be.
I mean, if they were turned away, where are they supposed to take? Where are they supposed to take the criminal? If they're turned
Yeah,
away from 201 Poplar, where do they take them?
right. So exactly, so are you cutting them loose? Bounty hunters it's just a little different, even when they come into a system, sometimes they say, hey, Shelby County, can you assist us? We have this guy, can you do this for us? I mean, like, wait a minute, so because we have to look at the research and, well, who is
Right.
this guy? We gotta do the research. Who is this person? Even now, other departments call and says, can you go and do this? I'm like, no, because I have to know what I'm going to walk into. I got to do the research. Is this guy had a criminal history of fighting the police, weapons, and who is this person tied up to?
Right.
That's when we go and deploy. But if we're going to go sometimes, if they're there, they do their work, these bounty hunters, and they call us. But sometimes, they do their own transport. They do their own
Right.
transport.
Right.
So, but sometimes we say no. I mean, you're on your own because of the liability too, Dean. I mean, they go out there and break doors or whatever happened or spray somebody.
Right.
And then, so it's just we have to do things the right way. And that's what we're trying to do.
Right. Let's see. What was it over the last couple of years? I guess there's been several deaths at the jail.
Yeah.
Now, some of it was due to, I guess, bad drugs.
Yeah.
And some of them, seems like one of them died as a result. I mean, he was a big guy.
Yeah.
And I think as a result of fighting with and having to be subdued. But you know how the Free the 901 and some of these other agencies, these other groups, Micah and things like that, talk about, they're just in there, killing them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you're talking about that issue with about maybe 9 or 10 deputy jailers were involved in it. They released the video.
I think so. Yeah.
That person was naked. So that case is still going.
Okay.
It's been almost 3 years, and
Right.
so it's still going. It's just that's all I know. But I believe some people were already fired or something. But it's still going. So those people are being, the case is going.
Right.
I don't know where the case is or how far into the investigation is going on, but all I know is that the case is still going. That was about 3 years ago.
Wow.
Um, and this days, that guy was having the person was having a mental episode, mental problem,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and that's why it's important to address those issues. We have to train the deputy jailers, and the officers too. When we go, I'm a firm believer, like in the field. Then I'm a firm believer of lethal weapons. We don't have guns with a knife at law enforcement officers, and that person is having a mental episode. We're gonna use deadly force, So we try not to
Right.
because of the background, but we need a non-lethal weapon, so we can just control the situation because he's having a mental problem, mental issue, mental episode at the moment.
Right.
So that's one of the things that I wanna do first. We have to have non-lethal weapon, whatever that is. Tasers came out as one option. I was the one who did the research tasers for the department. Part of it was I had to get tased. Hey, I got tased, but I'll tell you what, it wasn't great. I got tased to show the command staff that this is not going to kill us. So
Right.
I got tased. I got 40 volts on me on my back and my back of my leg. Then I'll tell you, you're talking about not be able to move is you can't move. It's like electricity goes into your body and it goes to your brain. You can't talk, you can't move then, but it was devastated. So
Right.
that you're incapacitated for about 5 to 7 seconds. Enough time for the officer to go ahead and control you, put the handcuffs on you or get you back up, and
Right.
then you're gonna be okay. Slowly you recover.
Right.
But we need that.
Right. Well, what about as far as like the beanbag guns or
A
or
beanbag,
the
yeah.
I mean
Yeah,
any
we don't
any
have.
you don't
Yeah,
have those?
we don't have that. We used to have the wrap you around. We don't have it. If we have, maybe we have one. SWAT, I believe they're the ones who have that. But in the patrol, we need to equip those officers with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking about like like you fire the weapon or whatever, and it has like
Right,
a net.
yeah, a wrap you.
Okay.
That's pretty cool, like spider. But I mean, it's a wrap. So any kind of a device that it can incapacitate the person for a few seconds.
Right.
You're not gonna die. You're gonna be fine. But because that's what the instructor is gonna go through that experience. If in case we have to testify in court, we're gonna explain to the attorneys or the judge. No,
Right.
sir, these are the effects of the use of that weapon.
Right.
But I really, it's something that I really want to do, when I become the sheriff.
Right. How much training do the jailers go through? They don't go through the same training as a regular deputy, do they?
Right, they don't. It's probably 8 weeks, 8 weeks, eight to 12 weeks. A deputy sheriff, 8 to 12 weeks,
Eight to
and
12 weeks
the
for
8 to 12 weeks. The sheriff deputy is 6 months, like 24, 25 weeks.
oh, okay. Okay.
Right now. But my opinion, I can give you my opinion on the training. I think we can trim down some hours. I want to be able to get deputies faster,
Right. Right.
uh, and the state requires 480 hours,
Okay.
480. We're keeping this recruits academy 1,080 hours, which is almost double up the number of hours. I think we can trim down some of those hours, which, you know,
Right.
the basic need field, and maybe some part of the training do it in the field. Boots on the ground. I need more deputies in the field.
Yeah. OJT.
That's
OJT.
right. On the job training, sir. That's right. And hands-on training.
I mean, that's really where you learn how to do things. I mean, you
100%.
can sit in the classroom and you can do the run around shooting at targets and things like that, but there's nothing like live training. Me sitting down with somebody and have them weld with me or something like that, form things and this, that, and the other. You learn a whole lot quicker by doing than by just
That's
watching.
right. That's right. That's right. Hands-on training, on-the-job training, and I want to put in the training instead of using 1,080, and for other stuff that we don't need. I want to be able to use the number of hours wisely. One of them is I want to give him a tour of the jail. I want to
Right.
give him a tour of the corrections, of the CC, Shelby County Correction Center. I want to be able to give him a tour of the federal penitentiary. I mean, they don't do any of that. So I
Right.
want to be able to put those things in it. And I mentioned earlier about the school too, Dean. I really want to bring the kids into a place and then where they can speak with an inmate.
Oh,
One.
like they used to do Scared Straight.
I'm not familiar with it. Is that what they used to?
That was, I think that show came out in the, I don't know, maybe 80,
Really?
no, 80s, late 80s, early 90s or whatever. It was
Wow.
Scared Straight, where they would take kids
Yeah.
that were delinquent or something like that, that had gotten in, small amount of trouble or whatever, and they took them in and let them sit right there with, I mean, these inmates would walk right up in their, get all up in their grill and everything, and
Right.
it was a form of trying to train or show these kids that what you're doing is going to lead you right here
That's right.
where these guys are right now.
That's
And
right. Yeah.
this is not, you don't want to be bunked with 6'7", 325-pound Bubba at all. I can promise you.
Right. Right. And I agree 100%. No, you're right. But I think, especially at that age, Dean, I want to be, you can speak from your experience, from your heart. Don't do this, don't do that. But when they speak straight to the person who's committed a crime or killed somebody,
Right.
straight from the person, tell them, that will create an impact, into these kids.
I think
We
so.
have to put that fear that if you do this, this is how you're gonna end up, for a long time.
Right. I mean, because before the Make Memphis Matter
Yeah.
with Senator Brent Taylor and everything like that, you've got people being released over and over and over, ROR back into the streets, doing the same thing they were before, or even worse. I mean, whenever I think it was John Covington I was talking to. We were talking about Officer McKinney a few years ago, uh, and found out that he was actually killed by friendly fire, but it was because of the guy that they were chasing. That once they opened up fire and everything, I mean, he came out of the car with a gun. Well, the police unloaded, and I think the guy's partner eventually died or whatever, but Officer McKinney was killed because of the way that situation went down. And so,
Wow. So devastating. You're so devastating. I don't know if you remember Officer, when I was in Memphis Police, Don Overton, he got killed. It was in the 90s, when I was a police officer in Memphis, and he got T-boned at a street in Hollywood and Chelsea area.
yeah.
It just, his wife was about to give birth
Mm.
to their first child, and he lost his life. It's a gang affiliation that these kids were trying to, join the gang. Part of it was you got to go and steal some clothes. They went to Raleigh Springs Mall
Yeah.
and ended up in the Chase, gone into Hollywood and Chelsea area, southbound in Hollywood, and end up killing Don. But these kids, Dean, that's what leads us into this crime that we have now. Juvenile
Right.
crime is terrible.
Right. And I'm going to pull us into a different scene here and pull this up. If you can see this, I can actually blow this up a little bit more. Let me get over here. This is how much stock do you take into how accurate this is? I mean, this is from today. This is the city of Memphis, the safe data page from the city of Memphis. How much stock do you take into how accurate it is?
Let me see. Operation 96, arrest, felonies.
I mean, to date,
I see 9,600.
almost 10,000 arrests. Yesterday, it says that they made, so Sunday, They made 37 arrests.
Yeah. Wow.
Under the arrest type, they've got 5,712. Let's see. And pull that up here even better.
Yeah.
So let's see. You've got nonviolent arrest 6,094, and violent arrest at 3,575. So it's a little bit more than half of the nonviolent.
Yeah.
And then over here under your warrant arrests, they served 5 yesterday on a Sunday or whatever. But all this does is break. Yeah, it breaks down everything. Of course, it looks like it's trending down, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Memphis Safe Task Force.
Yeah, exactly. Everything, it depends on how the classifications go or the arrests. But a lot of these numbers, Dean, when you see the people have been arrested, it doesn't mean they're all in jail. They go in, get booked, and follow the process of the judicial system.
Right.
But every crime has a classification, and they get put in there as far as the arrests, misdemeanors, and so on. I just don't know exactly how their the classifications are. But a lot of times, one crime of certain either property or some homicide or something occurred, it moves the needle a little higher, all the way through my pen, a little higher. But anyway.
But yeah, over here with arrest, you got a arrest type felony, 3,957, misdemeanors, 5,712, misdemeanor citations, 1,275, physical arrest, 8,394.
Yeah. And that's for Memphis, the Memphis Police Department. It's not the task force. Am I right?
No, this is the task force. This is everything going on from MPD and the task force.
All combined. Okay.
All combined. Yeah. Because I mean,
I can tell you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because I don't, Memphis MPD's never arrested 9,669 people in a year.
No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
But if you look under the warrant arrest, you've got other 1,953, domestic violence 476, aggravated assault 370, narcotics 272, weapons 200, and it keeps going down. I mean, sexual assault 52 sexual assaults, I guess through this period or whatever.
Yeah. So, but I can tell you this: ever since the task force has been here, I mean, I got the numbers. The task force alone, Dean, they made about 7,200 arrests.
Right.
Over that, about 3,500 warrants just in the task force alone. About 1,200 illegal firearms have been seized. And remember, when you seize weapons, a lot of times you're gonna see some drugs with it. That's included weapons with fentanyl and cocaine. You're talking about 97,000 traffic stops. It's just the task force. 700 members, gang members been arrested.
Right.
And then I'll tell you this one: 170 gang members have been charged federally, which is great. These numbers came from Mike Donovan came and told us those numbers. Last month, 2 months ago, and 20. They arrested about 20 federal people for impeding. I love it. Impeding all of those charges, that they are there when people protest, like ice out and so on. So they were able to charge about 20 people. I wish we could double up the number of that, because we need it.
They charge. You're saying they charge charge those people.
We're gonna put up with it. This force has been able to,
okay, because
the beauty of it,
Yeah, because if it goes federal, our district attorney, Steve Mulroy, can't touch it.
Can't touch it. That's right. And Brent Taylor has been doing a phenomenal job.
Amen.
now with this bill, I believe he's about to pass, or he already passed, that if Mulroy wants to just let him off or downgrade the charge, he has to type a letter and send it out, to the state. Why is he doing that? So
Right.
he can't just let him out anymore. So
Right.
Brent Taylor has been doing a remarkable job for Memphis and Shelby County.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And he gets a lot of grief, and
Yeah.
he needs to come out with he needs to come out with more of his mean memes that people send him and stuff. His mean text or mean
Yeah.
things, mean tweets. I think that's
Yeah.
what he calls them. His mean tweets, because those are hilarious.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I have learned so much from watching him, even how he approached the people who they hate him. Because I've been with him. From my experience, I could tell you, how do you do this? He said, "What? They're calling you all kinds of names, and you walk like there's nothing going on." It's just that's just him, man. He's an unapologetic guy. He stands firm of what he believes. Whether you
Yeah.
like it or no, I'm still gonna keep driving. So I love it. That is just he's awesome. He's one
Right.
of the best persons that I'm around. When I see him
Right.
going to places.
Well, he's got that firm belief, and I can't remember what movie it was from, but the guy said he said just because somebody he said just because I think they said, well, the guy called my mom a whore. Oh, it was Roadhouse. It was Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said, well, he called my mom a whore. He goes, well, is she? No.
yeah. I see. Right.
Then don't worry about it.
Right. No, that's great. So I've learned so much. Then, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my first time running, and I watch people. Just how their approaches. How they approach it, and people are like I'm selective. Yeah, I want to learn from this person. I saw this person, and I learn.
Right.
But I've learned so much over the last year. So it's been great.
Well, you can see where my mouse is right here. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
traffic stops, and this is all this is since the task force hit.
yeah.
Traffic stops, 101,073
That's right.
traffic stops.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you're all for pretextual stops, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where if somebody gets stopped for a minor traffic infraction,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
they could be speeding, or they got a tail light out
Anything,
or something like that, and
anything.
you run their tag if they've got one, and they may have a warrant out.
100% laws. I mean, Dean, the laws are there. The ordinances are there that
Right.
give us probably cause to stop them. So why selective? I'm not going to stop you. But not in Memphis, but in Colorville or Germantown, I'm going to stop you.
Right.
No. So that applies to everyone.
Right.
And and I tell people, my mission, my motto is when I become a sheriff, I'm going to continue to enforce it. I'm going to continue what the task force has been doing. I've always been saying that everything starts small. Then even with the temporary tag who's expired. I mean, it's expired.
Right.
I worry if I don't get my renewal in the mail. So if I don't, I go there in person and I pay. Well, I get it, they mailed it, but I never got it. That's okay. But I'm going to renew my tag. I mean,
Right.
why is it okay for for other people not to do it, but for me and you, we have to,
Right.
Yeah,
Well, because we're responsible people.
yeah, yeah, we're law-abiding citizens, and
Trying to anyway.
right now, we that's the truth. But yeah, you're right. So about I see firearms recover. That's a lot. Did you know that between the year 2023 and 2024? I went to a meeting with a Memphis 901 or 901 Memphis
Yes, sir.
group. So they showed me the stats, Dean, and they showed between 2023 and 2024 that they have reports of 4,200 weapons stolen. 4,200, and they only recover, I believe, 1,500. So I took a screenshot of that. I mean, there's so many weapons they're out, and
Right.
now you wonder, why crime is so high. And that's what I'm a firm believer of. Making these stops. You have to make the stops. That's where you find weapons, drugs, and everything else.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just it's a lot, but I mean we can do it, Dean. Uh, we have to address these issues. You know, we have to address these issues. The crime, it's going to continue. We're down 40-50%, you know, flat out all over the board, and I don't understand why the left is coming and said, no, you know, this is an occupation. You're doing this. You should, you know, the task force should leave. No, I wish we can keep him here forever.
Well, either that or at least pull some of the best ones from the National Guard and the task force and put them on MPD and Shelby County.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
fill our ranks from these guys that are,
yeah,
you know, kicking butt.
yeah, yeah.
I'll keep it PG on Facebook. You know.
No, I agree. I agree. We must, you know, get this you know this image of law enforcement and mission first and protect the people of Memphis and Shelby County. We
Right.
must do that because that's our mission.
Right. All right, Marco. This is the time where I ask you to tell people where they can find you, where what your social medias are. If you have a website that they can go to, donate toward Marco for sheriff.
Yeah. Well, then, first of all, number one, I want to tell you thank you so much for the invitation personally.
Yes, sir.
And ever since I met you, you've been nothing but just great. And we talk, and I connected with you, you know, and you're a hardcore Republican, believe in the rule of why.
Yes, sir.
Just like when I came to America, Dean, I embraced America. I followed the law. I became a Christian in America. I got saved in America at Bellevue Baptist Church under Adrian Rogers. And to my immigrant friends, if you come to America, you must assimilate America. You must assimilate America. This country doesn't owe you anything. You owe us your loyalty, for one thing. We don't owe you anything. If you come to America, embrace America, assimilate America, pay your taxes, go to church, buy a car, buy a house, get married, have kids, enjoy America. If you don't have the documents, dude, I'm telling you, follow the law. Figure it out, but follow the law. Obey the law. Respect the law and respect the officers. Be respectful and obey the law.
Right.
So please follow my platform, marcoforsheriff.com, marcoforsheriff.com, and you can follow me on Facebook. It's Marco for Sheriff. Marco for Sheriff. That's where I got all my stuff on social media. I encourage you to check my social media. And I need your vote. I can't do all this alone. I need your vote. I humbly ask you for your vote. When I talk to many people, Dean, everybody that I talk to, the main issue that they tell me is crime, 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 crime. It's very sad when I hear from people that they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe. And that's one of the things that I will do when I become your sheriff.
Right.
I am going to fight crime, Dean, like you never seen before. Leadership starts in the battleground. I have been in the battle. I came into this country even before. So, and my spirit, I'm going to bring it into this. I'm bringing this into this race. Mission first. And I tell people this will defend just like the military.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
please, Dean, I want to tell you personally, thank you for my wife and I. Thank you so much for having us on your show. And I'm real humble to be here and do this. I really am. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank
Well,
you.
I appreciate you coming on. I mean, it's a fairly brand new podcast, and I'm having a blast doing it. I'm still trying to
You're
still
great.
trying to still trying to tweak things and make things better. And like I said, I've got those two guys with the Patriot Punk Network helping me out as much as they can. And I'm going to give them a plug here. If you don't follow them, if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's the Patriot Punk Network. It's Robert Chase Matheson and Daniel Wagner. And
That's awesome. Awesome.
and one of their taglines is all politics are local. Everything starts right here. Get involved, whether you're start with the school board.
Right.
Go on to the school board. Lord knows we need it fixed, and
Yeah.
it's seriously needs to be fixed. But I mean, just get involved, get involved with local local activities like the Shelby County GOP, or if you're Democrat, the Democrat, uh, whatever they're called. I don't know because I don't know. I'm not.
I like that too. Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. But look, what I like about you, then, that you are humble. You were humble day one when you came doing your show, and I watch you because you're like, I don't know, because you don't see. You didn't came arrogant, like I know everything. You were so humble because I watch you. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Ask me help, and that's what I'm. People will step up more to help you. I'm telling you, you don't know. You didn't know I was to tell you this, but
now,
you're humble about that, and that's what makes you who you are. I just wanted to tell you that.
I
So
appreciate it. I appreciate it, Marco. You have a good evening. Spend the rest of your time before you go to. I don't know how big your day is tomorrow. I'm
yeah,
gonna be.
we
I'm
go
gonna be.
places.
I'm gonna be under the hood welding, trying to get some stuff done. So I can
Yeah,
get over to powder coat. So
that's awesome. Well, please vote for me, Marco, for sheriff. Look me up on Facebook, and humbly ask for your vote on May the 5th. But you can vote March the 15th through the 30th. I'm sorry, April
April 15th. Yeah,
April
April
15th to the
15th.
30th. My mistake.
Yeah,
And then,
that's
or if you miss it, May the 5th.
and if you're not registered to vote, go
Yes,
register to vote.
yes, April the
It's
6th. That's the last day.
okay. It's your civic duty to vote. It's your God-given right to vote.
Yes, sir.
So if you're not registered to vote, and I'm not telling you who to vote for,
That's right.
whether you vote, and we don't register a party in Tennessee. We're all independents, but you either vote independent, Republican, or Democrat.
Right.
And so if you're not registered to vote, get registered to vote before the what'd you say, April 6th?
April 6th, that's the last day.
April 6th is the deadline to register to vote.
Thank
Marco,
you.
I appreciate you this evening. I thank you for coming on the show, and like my wife, your wife helps you as much as she can, and sometimes it's not enough.
No, thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks.
Let's get back over here. There we go. Oh, brought you back in.
Uh-oh.
That was Marco Yzaguirre for Sheriff of Shelby County. And he is one of two Republicans running for Sheriff of Shelby County. The other one's Brad Less. Check them both out. I don't endorse anybody on this show. Well, y'all all know who I do endorse, but he's not running local here. I'm not endorsing anybody local here. But go check out all of them. Check out Brad Less. Check out Marco Yzaguirre, the two gentlemen running for sheriff. If you're not registered to vote, go register to vote. You've got till April 6th to do that. And then early voting is April 15th through the 30th, I think is what he said. I'd have to check that out. And the primary is May 5th. Next week, I was supposed to have, and I hope she don't kill me for saying this, because I mean, I don't know how much she's told everybody on social media, but next week I was supposed to have Dee Dee Ballinger, and she's gonna ghost me for Trump. She's been she's been invited to the White House for the Easter program that they have every year at the White House for Easter, and I told her, just going back and forth in Messenger or whatever, I told her in my best Medea voice, hell no, you can't not show up on the show. Now I was joking with her, but she's great. I'll get her back on at some point, and see, April the 20th, I've got a couple of women coming on from the Tennessee Fair Elections. And I don't know if anybody saw what happened today. I'm going to pull this back up let's go over here. I'm going to pull this up. If you go to wapp.capital, that's with an O, .tn.gov, pull up your bills. You can go back. Let me go back. You go to this page here, you go to bills, you type in HB 1971. Y'all need to read up on this. They are steadily eating away at our rights as a citizen of the state of Tennessee. And I'm sad to say that if you look right here, can I zoom in on that some more? One more time. Pull that in. Right here, folks. This is my district. It's read up on it. They're chipping away at our rights. They're steadily chipping away at our rights. We're losing them and they're gaining them. So, with that said, I hope y'all have a good evening. I appreciate the ones that show up, the ones that commented in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good evening. Have a great tomorrow, and I'll see you next Monday.